All right, y'all. It is April 16th, 8:32 a.m. We're live. Let's get it cooking. Tad bit behind. About five to 10 minutes. Like to be a little earlier than what I got, but we're here. Just kind of getting orchestrated. So let's get it pumping. I let the market kind of move. We're sideways on a lot of tickers. So not a lot of action. A lot of seems like it want to be a lot of movement, but it's a lot of noise really. So we're gonna let the market kind of fizzle its way out until it figures out what it wants to do. Let's see who can kind of get our attention this morning because everybody's kind of making some type of movement. Let's see who's the closest. Let's see, we had a little movement, had a little divergence with SPY, a lot of tight consolidation. It's like a lot of tight. It's real tight up in SPY. So let's just go. I'm gonna automatically move that one. Just 'cause it's so tight. I see a lot of movement up and down, but yeah. Let's go to nothing that I want to be a part of. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't see anything that's worth mentioning. QQQ doesn't have much movement to report on, even though it's moving pretty hard. Um, Volatility might spike pretty hard on that one. Um, Looks more like a pullback to me. Oh, QQQ. Yeah, I don't see much. QQ's got some movement. Try, if anything, IWM probably gets the best leeway. It's got the most wide range of movement. GLD is it's like a slow inside consolidation right now. It's sideways, as is silver. So, today just might be one of them days where we do much of nothing. Um, we'll see. Take some notes here. We've got SPY and QQQ in a strong uptrend. As is IWM uptrend as well. IWM is being met with a little bit of resistance right now. And gold and silver are sideways. So the real question for me, out of all the movements, let's see. 635.70. Yeah, that is where resistance is. That's where the top of that resistance is for me. My question for QQQ is if it's going to try to bounce off of that level. That'll be something to see here. Be very interested to see that actually. Not sure if we'll get that, but yeah, everything is pretty tight today. It's not looking like the greatest of probably IWM and yeah, I mean, I don't know. Probably GLD probably gives us the most reason to kind of look bullish overall. I said it with a grain of salt because SPY, QQQ, and IWM are all uptrends. GLD is sideways. Hmm. Let's make a note of that. Sure. Just not seeing much to report on, y'all. Um, Not much movement right now. QQQ is giving us a little volatility. It's pretty close. We got 50 seconds left before we reach a top of a candle here. I don't see much to report on. Saw a little divergence early on SPY, but within a pre-market and it was very tight, tightly consolidated. Yeah, just not much movement today. QQQ is probably giving us the most movement, which is why I'm still watching for it. I could potentially see it bouncing off this level and then pushing back up. Um, that would be a solid divergence if it did. Not great. It'd be solid. It wouldn't be great. It's not enough movement either. I mean, honestly, need it. I can honestly see it possibly doing a hidden divergence. That would make sense. That would make so much sense. So I can kind of see that move forming itself. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if we can get it in time. Something to watch. Yeah, we see a lot of good small consolidation here. Not much volatility in the market, that's for sure. 635.70. That's where that resistance line is. Do I have any area of support in that area? That's a question I would like to know. I don't think so. I see that line and it's been pushed down a lot. This could be one of those times where it gets tested and it market pushes to the upside. I could see that. I could see that. I don't know how true that could be, but I could see it. I just have to see how the market reacts once it gets to that level. Which that would make it turn from resistance to support. Let's dive into it. Let's see. 630, 635.70, right? 635.70 up. Let's make sure I got it all right on all screens I got here. Let's put it on screen three because we're having a huge dip. So volatility is coming. Oh, it's starting. I think if we get a hard enough push to the downside, I think we can get that continuation move. This would just be a pullback. Um, 5:45 in the morning would be the first pivot. Get rid of that. Kind of don't need it. 5:45 right here would be the first start. And then if we can get a hard enough push, maybe an overreaction from here, and then a retest from here, that's what we will pretty much want. We would want it to kind of break below here, come back up, retest it, and then off to the races from there. That is what we will be looking for if the divergence would show itself. We'll see. It's possible, but we're in a very strong uptrend. So volatility is definitely going the way, definitely going the way for QQQ. So volatility is getting there. SPY is approaching that, but I don't think SPY has the. I mean, I think SPY has a ways to go before it does that. We'll see. What I need to be doing in the meantime is if SPY does grow some legs, SPY has some legs there. 697.14. 697.14. Yeah, has a little ways to go, but it could get there. But we'll see. We'll see. Well, QQQ is the focus for right now. So we've got, let me see if I make sure I got it. Hard push to the downside. We're getting that strong push we need. It's a very strong push. I'm of the mindset that it's just a pullback and we'll get hidden divergence. I think it'll become more clear around 9 o'clock. We'll see. We'll find out. That was a strong push. What we're hoping for is the overreaction and a bounce. We'll see in 10 minutes, in about 6 minutes, 5 minutes really. But yeah, this is a strong push down. All right, we may get something. Maybe a little action early. It's been a while. Let's remain disciplined today. A lot of action. Actually closed below that line, which is the first, one of the first phases we would need. The next one we would actually need it to close back above. That's what we would need. There's something to like that. This to me would be that overreaction of a pullback. Um, we'll see how the Bears and the Bulls respond to this level here. So we got that overreaction we needed. We're actually just needing a close above here. So now we need the Bulls to kind of kick back, and then we need this level kind of retested, and then that's when we jump in on the retest. That's what we're waiting on. So it's kind of the first leg of a kick there. Um, got a ways to go. We have a lot of things to kick into place here. Curious to see um, how QQQ and SPY look at 9 o'clock. See if that divergence takes its own leg for another pivot. That's where we're gold is gold is making a strong move as well. Kind of sort of gold is making a force of itself. Um, does gold have a reason to bounce? Let's gold is making a very strong statement. But I think it's coming to the bottom of hmm. Gold has a very strong reason to bounce as well. Um, yeah, 9 o'clock is going to be very interesting. We're going to have a couple of different places to kind of diagnose from here. Um, let's try to prepare for GLD as well. So we got SPY, QQQ, and GLD forming something interesting. Um, it's all a matter of perspective at this point. But I think GLD is gonna look more of like more sideways motion. If I had to take a bet, GLD could take that position of the bounce to the upside. What's more clear at this point when you have like multiple options for me? It's about what's more clear. And to be honest with you, I think QQQ is gonna come out on top here. QQQ, I just think we'll see what 9 o'clock looks like, but Spy and QQQ are gonna have a little bit more of a dynamic. And I'm interested to see how that hourly candle looks for a continuation for bullish hidden divergence and a continuation. So whichever one between SPY and QQQ looked the clearest when 9 o'clock gets here, I think that's who I'm rolling with. And I'm right now I'm looking at the hourly chart. Um, it's going to be interesting to watch for sure if we can get a little bit more of a push down. But it's all going to be, and SPY is kind of pushing back up. It's 9 o'clock now. Nobody gave us enough. Nobody gave us quite enough. We didn't get quite enough. So the volatility, I think QQ gave us the closest here. Where are we at right now? We're at like 1.83, which requirements are usually around a 2. That would somewhat make it like we're process of elimination at this point. SPY didn't give us not near as enough, I don't think. 1.4, 1.3, not quite enough. So by process of elimination, we're looking at GLD, maybe Q, maybe, I mean, process of elimination, we're looking at QQQ. GLD gave us a little bit of work too, but it still got some more overreaction to do. 1.9 for GLD. I just think GLD has a little bit more of an overreaction to give. But we're definitely getting that moment from QQQ where it's breaking back above and this level being tested. So now we're gonna lock in on QQQ because it's a little bit more clear, but we've got so much work to do. Not quite as deep as I need it to be. It could be it could be a pullback, but it's not as clear on screen too. So that's what I'm waiting on. We'll see how this level continues to get tested. Volatility is there. We need more of a push. Um, this will make it like a B minus B plus setup. Um, I'd be willing to take a chance on this if the overreaction was there. The volatility isn't quite there, but GLD, did I have a million in selling? Let me see. Let me try to lock in on that. No, it's definitely not reaching the level of its. Yes. Yeah, GLD is so tight going sideways. I'm just a little worried about directional movement and having the trend to follow behind it. So QQQ, feel a little bit more safe or comfortable watching QQQ. It's kind of giving us what we need, but sort of got that break above, kind of getting retested here. It's just tight. The consolidation is very small and tight, and I'm not a fan of it. It's not much of an overreaction that I would need. That would be my problem with this setup. It's just not much of an overreaction. Divergence is there and it's small. It's not a killer, if that makes sense. Because that line definitely got retested right here. It's definitely a retest moment. It's definitely a retest moment. Definitely a retest moment, but I don't think it's a strong enough moment to justify continuation. We could have that divergence. We're at a point where divergence is pretty clear, but is this done moving to the downside? Let me see. Yeah, we just don't quite have a pivot yet. We got the volatility I'm willing to accept. It's at like at 1.8 ish. Willing to accept that. I think that support is getting formed. We did have that close above. Um, I think now is kind of the time to set that limit. Let's see. Let's lock in on QQQ. It's not perfect, and that retest was pretty fast. But the real question is this downside movement enough? Let's go to QQQ. It's just not a. It's just. I feel like it's not done moving to the downside. That's my question right now, or my biggest issue right now. What is it? 635. 635. Everybody. I got a lot of people watching 635. To be honest, that's crazy. Yeah, everybody's kind of seeing what I'm seeing. Um, that retest was fast and quick. I'll set a limit order. Just not. Let's get the limit order going here. Where we at here? Uh, What we got? We're going with the trend. If it drops less than 635, 635.70. Yeah, we'll buy one contract if it drops below 635.70. And that'll be good. We'll cancel it about 15 minutes from now. Uh, 9:07, let's say 9:25-ish. Give it some time. If I don't like that, is it because it's a limit order? I don't like that either. Maybe a market order submitted today. I don't like that. I just don't like it. Yeah, I had a trailing stop. Yeah, I just got a trailing stop on there. I don't know why they don't like it to where they won't let me confirm and save it. Threshold. I don't know why I don't like it. I'm curious. I'm very curious. Hmm. I mean, I'm disciplined enough to wait myself, so I'm not in a rush. But if we can get a retest of that level, I'm willing to retest it. I wonder why they don't like the limit with her. I want to get there. I just want to set a conditional order. I want to get in a market order if it drops below. QQQ drops below 635. I wonder why they don't like that. I'll have to ask some questions on that. Actually, let me make a phone call while I may have a little bit of time. I'll put y'all on mute. I gotta make a real phone call to my broker. Get some answers. All right, y'all, I'm back. I had to kind of get some help on execution here. It's been a while, so apparently I was a little rusty, but you saw me work through those mistakes non-verbally. But basically, if this does retest 635.70, um, we'll get in at an order here. It'll push to the upside. Um, I feel like it's a settlement though. That's what's frustrating about. I feel like that level. I think it's a B minus setup. It's not the greatest. Um, it's not the greatest setup. It's like you're missing. I'm missing one. The key pieces I'm missing is the overreaction part, right? So not quite as much of an overreaction as I would want, but we definitely got a retest of that level, which is why we're waiting on. I feel like this was a part of the retest. I don't know if it's gonna retest it twice, and then not as much of an overreaction as I would want or need. So that is something else I'm a little worried about. Um, Volatility is there a little bit, but yeah, we're not in the trade yet. It's got to come down. It's got to come past this level to retest this line, even though I feel like it already has, and did it pretty fast. But we're gonna stick to code. I mean, yeah, this right here is a retest for me. It was extremely fast. Could just be a continuation move. Where is the volatility now? At about 20 minutes. See if we get that. Curious to see where this is at 9:30. See if we get that push down in that retest moment. Got a fake to the upside. It's not much of an overreaction. It's definitely not the best setup. It's more like a B minus setup. I'm accepting it. Volatility close, 1.8 or 1.1. Yeah, definitely a 1.8. So not quite as much of an overreaction. It is testing that level, setting a lower high here. This is a low and this is a lower high here. Curious to see in the next 5 minutes how if we do get an overreaction to the downside by 9:30. If we don't get it, I'm fine. I've already kind of I've bended a couple rules I was comfortable bending on, just with a little bit of kind of expecting that overreaction to come back down. That would make the hidden divergence kind of complete. Not kind of complete. It would make it make more sense if it did overreact. That's why I'm not. I was glad I didn't overreact by just jumping in the trade. I'm willing to be a little more patient and wait to see if I can get another overreaction and then to the upside here. Even though I felt like it was somewhat of a retest, but I don't quite have the divergence yet, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm willing to be more patient. The divergence hasn't quite shown itself. I do see some levels of support on screen too, um, around the 635.96 level, which they're definitely pressing up above that. It's just 20 cent above where I have it. I mean, um, yeah, I'm seeing it on all three levels too. All three levels have their their level of support right at that level. I'm not willing to budge though. I've bent a couple of rules. I can see this pushing back up. I just don't have the divergence to kind of show itself. We're gonna remain patient. We may not get it, right? We may not get it simply because it's just tight in there. I believe we made the, I mean, I believe we're watching the right quarters here, but this movement right here, it's starting to move without you a little bit. I'd rather get in on that overreaction. That way I know for sure the hidden divergence kind of completes itself. So right now I'm gonna stay focused on screen two. I'm gonna try not to watch this screen here or my screen three because it's just enticing. It's a little frustrating to kind of watch yourself not get into a trade. But I mean, I definitely see this as a retest moment for the Bulls. Still be a trade we might not get in. We'll have more tail at 9:30. I'm another minute and a half. It's looking more and more solid. It's not quite the overreaction. It's kind of hard to dictate when you want that overreaction. You don't control the market, so we got the volatility. Well, we didn't technically. We didn't get the -2 that we needed, a -1.8, but it's close enough for me to kind of be like, okay, maybe I can see it kind of overreacting. Let's see if we can get a little bit more of an overreaction. But yeah, that retest right here was something beautiful to watch. If the market just moves up from here, it's just something you just have to accept. I mean, I really don't. Nothing I can really do about it. We're talking about splitting hairs here between 635.96 and 635.70. 25, a strong 25 cent is what kept me from getting in the trade. But I mean, at this point, yeah, I can see the Bulls kind of making more and more of a case for themselves. But um, I think I'm willing to kind of shed and let go if it just doesn't pan itself out. I'm not gonna keep it on all day, but not the best of setups. Not the best of setups. So I took it down. It's 9:30. Um, a little frustrated, just a little bit, just a little bit. See that level getting retested. Divergence kind of completing itself here. It's not really strong. Okay. Look at the trade. And this is bad discipline at this point, but um let's give it time and see what happens. All right, we got in at 635. This is not great discipline, but I'll explain the trade. All right. What we got? I think just because of the rules that were broken, I think I may just take a 5% and dip. So I may stick to that strategy. I may shorten this sooner than later. All right, we're in at nine, a price of 910. Um, Divergence is somewhat showing itself. I think we're just gonna have to be patient with it. Um, not enough volatility. So I say a B minus setup, probably more like a C plus setup because I waited so long. Didn't get in at the support that I wanted. I want to get in right here, but we're in a strong uptrend. Um, so we're following the trend. I don't have a profit target. Um, Kind of letting it run here. So we'll see from there. We'll just kind of let the market just kind of execute itself at this point. We do still, I have the divergence completing itself or getting to a point where I'm comfortable seeing it curl up. Um, I told you the first is right here. This is where the dip is. The divergence is kind of curling itself up right here. 9:15. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. So the divergence is still clear. The strategy is there. It's just getting in. I got in a little late, 9:15. So right here would be that second point. So this is the first point. This is the second point. As it's pushing down, um, the bulls are pushing it up. And so we're getting to a point where I couldn't get my level retested. So it's a late entry. So we're going to let it roll from there. Um, B minus, B plus setup, late entry. I don't feel excited about it just because I'm just late. We're up 1%. Um, if it gets up to maybe 5%, I may just, the rules of the risk management is you kind of let it ride um, until I see a point where I need to get out. So I'll do that. Divergence is there, so it's just small and tight. Volatility, so it's definitely a C minus setup. Definitely a C minus setup. We're up 2%. I broke rules today. It's not the greatest. I'm acknowledging it. But it's I bended rules. We'll say a C plus B minus setup, and then a late entry. So which makes it a C minus, right? So let's remove that because I'm gonna be able to see. But the strategy is there. We didn't break the strategy. We just a late entry with a very small divergence. So let's see if we can kind of get from there. But we're following the trend. I like how we're doing that. Um, I like how we're following the trend there. So let's see. We got that bounce we needed. We followed it the entire way. We got the retest we needed. The divergence is confirming at 9:15, confirmed here. This would have been a great entry for me right here. Got that retest. Um, but yeah, we followed the strategy. It just would have been great if we got in a lot earlier. So C plus, B minus, just off execution things of that nature. But the strategy is a little tight, a little small, so I'm a little worried on that end. But we'll watch. We'll give it 10 more minutes to see how it pans out. Up 1% right now. Bulls got to do some fighting. Risk management says we should leave this trade alone and just kind of wait for two things. Wait to see if we get some kind of bearish exhaustion. And then maybe we shorten this from 15% to 5% to close it in closer to closing on some profit. The other part is if we just leave it alone, do nothing, and then let the market kind of run the rest of the day. Um, because I'm not going to be here to watch it. I don't see me leaving it to run all day. Because it could run all day and then I'd be stuck in the trade. And then it could be a worse trade tomorrow. We're close to a bullish explosion potentially, so we'll see. Um, See if we can get a run up here. I may just move this from 15% to 5% if we get another bullish run up candle, because I think we're close to it. And I think it's coming right now, honestly. Up 3%. Not a lot of volatility, I'll tell you that. We have the trend behind us. This is one of those trades where if I had all day to trade, I would definitely leave it alone. I think we get a strong move. We're getting a strong move from the Bulls right now. Up 3.5%, getting close to four, up 4%. And usually, if this was a scalp, if this was going against the trend, I would definitely take profit at 5%. Or with the trend right now, we're in a strong uptrend. So we retested that level. We're at a strong push up right here. Um, at 9:45, I'll make a decision on whether I want to close this up or not. But we're looking pretty solid from what I can see. I mean, the strategy worked. We did have that overreaction. I'll just explain it again. Close back above. The retest was very quick right here, but it did run up and then come back down. I didn't see. Let me open it up. I guess it would help if I open it up for y'all. It did retest. It did run up here. It did retest this level as expected. Um, it kind of had a liquidity push right here, but yeah, um, that level got retested. Um, got up here, potential liquidity grab here. I feel like this was a late entry, but the divergence actually kind of confirmed itself a little bit. Um, I give it about 5 more minutes of a run to see if I want to get in or if I want to stay in and close this up. We're up 3% right now, not much, but the strategy definitely worked on itself. So I'm only nervous because a few rules were broken, and I know better. So we'll see how the next 5 minutes goes, and most likely what I'm leaning towards because I'm more defensive minded. Most likely what I'll do is I'll end up shortening this for sure. This will be shortened from um, 15% to, and that way we at least protect our downside. I'm always big on protecting downside because now we're only up 2%, and we need another strong run up. I don't know. I think we'll get it. Um, but we need the Bulls to kind of keep protecting that upside, keep making the push from here from that moving average. So this is where the Bulls kind of show themselves. And we want to make sure that if we do move this up to 5%, we don't get like a liquidity grab, get snatched out for nothing, right? So we'll probably close it pretty soon here. I think we're in good graces, but I mean, you never know. Trade can turn and pivot at any moment. 47.5. It's looking like an empty run up too. We're not getting a lot of bullish enthusiasm. So maybe one of those things where it's a slow trend. Um, It'll be a slow, choppy trend. It very well could be. Yeah. I'm gonna give y'all just a couple more minutes. So I'm already kind of pushing the needle here just because I'm watching it. I'll definitely leave y'all the end of the video. I'm a little torn. My rules say, uh, let it ride out. Follow the trend. The trend is kind of moving and following, so we shouldn't have to change or do anything. We're with the trend, so we should be comfortable. Um, Another piece is saying that we bent a couple of rules. We're a little uncomfortable following the trend, but I think we'll get what we need ultimately. I think the Bulls will kind of make a push. We got the divergence in place. Just need the Bulls to stop wasting time at this point, right? So, I mean, what is this? Yeah, we're still up 1%, not much. Just kind of stalling and wasting time. And so I don't know. I give it two minutes, 2 more minutes here. Getting a push, getting a push at the right time. Now we're back up 4% coming up on it. And I think we'll close it. We'll close in on it. We won't close it. We'll close in on it. You see how it finishes. And this is where the discretionary comes in at, right? So I can't stay for this trade, but I think an explosive move to the upside is about to happen. Um, we might just we'll see how the about maybe 30 to 20 seconds to last. I'm willing to close in on. I think the Bulls will make a pretty hard move and we'll be up maybe 5, 6, 7%. But I'm gonna close in on the trailing stop after that because we'll be officially at a good pushing point. We should be anyway. We do have the trend behind us, so it should keep running. I'm just putting a trailing stop behind it because I don't want to lose what I've gained so far. So about 20 seconds in, the Bulls push up is still kind of maintaining somewhat. Look like it's trying to come. Um, let's get it in now, just because I don't want it. Yeah, I don't want it so far down, and then we have a hard retest and all that. So I'm gonna get out of here. This is a good trade. It should turn out profitable. I can't leave this running, but I will definitely give you all the end result later. But this has been a good trading day. May take us out in the next 5 or 10 minutes, but it may keep running. So I'll let y'all know the end result once it's over. But this has been 2 weeks waiting, so good job. All right, see y'all tomorrow.